Good morning, everybody, all the participants. Welcome to our very first webinar. First of all, welcome to Diamond Training Institute. Thank you for being part of our webinar. This is our very first webinar, and we have a very special guest this morning, Ms. Aune Thomas. In fact, just yesterday when we were preparing for this webinar, Ms. Thomas was taking me through some of the Facebook, and I already just in that short, I think it was just 15 or so minutes, I already learned quite a lot. In fact, I was actually when we done with our conversation, I was actually going through Facebook exactly what she taught me, and I was searching for more stuff. So she's really knowledgeable on advertising and communication in general, marketing and communication. Rethink Communication actually did NIPAM website, so not NIPAM, Diamond Training Institute website. So if you want to just have a look at our website, and you can see exactly what Rethink Communication does. And she's really the best of the best. I mean, I've worked with some people, and they're not as competent as her. So I really want to thank Ms. Thomas for really coming out and presenting this webinar for the participants and for everybody who is listening. Ms. Thomas, over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ipinge. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the webinar today. Well, the main concentration of the webinar today is focusing on social media. I'm not sure if any of you guys are business owners, but this should be enticefully and helpful to you, each and every one of you, or a close friend or someone within your network that you know, has difficulties with getting their businesses online in terms of social media. So to dive right in, let me just share my screen with you. We do have a Q&A question time slot at the back of the at the end, towards the end of the presentation. But do feel free to leave any questions that you might have as we go along in the comments section. Myself and Mr. Ipinge will attend to them immediately thereafter once we reach the Q&A section. Okay, so advertising on social media and transforming from reward to reach. There's many platforms when it comes to social media, and it can be quite challenging as well as become quite difficult for you as an individual to ask yourself, but which platforms are best suited for me, for my businesses, or for my services or products that I am you know, offering out there. So the different platforms that we know them very common: Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, WhatsApp, as well as LinkedIn are the most common ones currently used. And often at times we feel like I should be on every other single platform or on every platform because I feel like I will reach a huger audience. Well, in actual fact, the trick is to downsize the platforms that you utilize and choose which one is best suited for you. So why is social media important? Many of us would ask ourselves that, especially for businesses, as I said earlier. You get the opportunity to connect with your customers, your consumers, as well as your suppliers, all through on one platform. You build a footprint for your brand. In terms of your logo gets out there, the visibility of your products, your services go out there. You get to promote them in certain ways, whether visually, whether through means of content. You get these opportunities to actually just get your product known to the audiences that you wish to target. You increase traffic towards your website. And even if you don't have a website, you still increase the traffic to your shops or to your various warehouses where you're operating your businesses from. You can also use it to generate leads for sales, you know, lead nurture, whether it means going on various, WhatsApp or Facebook groups and just placing your adverts or placing your products out there on those various groups. You generate a certain lead. By just doing so, or even just leaving your website link, you actually, in the long run, whether it's posted today, 3 or 4 weeks from now, someone comes across your ad, they still get the opportunity to see it. And should you have a link on that post linking to somewhere, they still lead up to that specific product where your information where your product is leading to. And as well, it provides an online presence. And in terms of online presence, it's not only, a lot of people think website, they think immediately when they come there, they think Facebook, Twitter, just that specific channels. But online presence in general it's an overall perspective of the internet, you and your brand's footprint on that specific internet. Now, if we go down to the available platforms that are most commonly used for businesses in Namibia again, most frequent ones would be then the Facebook and Instagram, and those ones are very convenient, mainly because they are owned by the same organization, including WhatsApp. So I would say if you then decide to use Facebook, then move on to Instagram and WhatsApp as well. The most lucrative WhatsApp at the moment will then be your business WhatsApp. Bear in mind that you can have both your normal active WhatsApp on your phone as well as your business WhatsApp on your phone. So if you connect your business WhatsApp, which is now the one that I'm concentrating on most because it's more effective for businesses, it's not as professional and advisable to use your normal personal WhatsApp number as your means of contact when you're communicating with customers, because business WhatsApp offers you a broader range of information and options that are not available on your normal WhatsApp. You can leave messages for clients to get back to them at a later stage. You can advertise your catalogs on there, your product catalogs and the pricing, so customers don't always have to come to you and ask, what are your rates? What's available to you? So these are all the options that business WhatsApp has, different from the normal WhatsApp. LinkedIn, on the other hand, is more of a professional-based WhatsApp. So let's say if you have an education platform or you give out services that are informative in terms of knowledge-based, LinkedIn is the way to go. Keep it professional, keep it short, sweet. If there's articles and blogs, by all means, link them in or connect them through to your LinkedIn pages. Twitter, very powerful tool, platform to use. And the best part is it's just sentence-based, so it's short. Yes, obviously you can utilize the attachments of your several posts and so forth, but the captions of Twitter and what you put into those captions is the way to go if you want to make Twitter more of your business platform or landing page. Snapchat is it requires a lot of work. Pre-recordings of sessions, it's similar to TikTok as well, where you have to do a lot of pre-recordings. It has a lot of planning ahead. You don't just go onto the platform and start it. So ask yourself which platform is better suited for you and your business. Now, I'm going to get into that, to dive into it right now. Which one is best? How do I actually ask myself for that? Sorry for that spelling mistake that I just picked up there. You assess your products and services. What type of products am I sending out, and to which market am I sending it to? Analyze your gender or your age group, who you're talking to, what platforms, conduct research, what platforms are they currently using? To what extent are they more active on social media? All these stats are available on Facebook. They actually have surveys out there that they actually put out for us as business owners to actually conduct, read up on, and then also just use them within the execution of our posts and so forth. What's your location, your client location? What's their lifestyle like? Is it someone who's constantly busy? And if someone who's currently constantly busy won't always be on the phone, so which time would be the best time to catch them? Towards the late evening hours when they're about to, close off the day or the evening, things like that. So what lifestyle do they live? And again, location-wise, when you post on a certain, in terms of advertising, which I'm going to dive in a bit later as well throughout the presentation, you get to learn as to which locations to advertise in. You actually get to choose as to, I'm going to advertise in Windhoek only for the specific audience at the specific time, at the specific age group. So these are the things that differentiate a normal organic post of you just posting on your normal business account, a normal post without you actually pushing it further or creating an audience for it. And then also decide as to my product, am I selling it for other businesses, or am I offering it for other businesses to use, or the specific service that I'm having, or is it a business to customer type of service? So all these criteria should help you in the end to be able to choose. It should put you in a position for you to be able to choose as to which platform works best for you. Okay, so we move on to the content and posts. So content and post creation can be very frustrating, and a lot of people are like, now I must go out there and get a graphic designer. And I'm talking out of my own experience as well. I currently generate my own posts, but that's because of years of experience and exposure to getting to nurture and teach myself on how to design my own posts or come to the stage where I was comfortable enough to do so. So in essence, you don't actually have to go out there and pay a specific designer to design for you. There's a lot of best free and paid graphic design softwares for marketers and beginners that you can, utilize and start using today. So to design your own posts, there's platforms like Canva, Vista Create, and GIMP. These are all platforms that are free. They also have pro paid services, and they template-based, guys. Like, they're so easy to use that you just drag and drop, and they already have the specific dimensions of the various platforms in place. So if you're going to create a Facebook post, you don't even have to go bother with the dimensions of how big must my post be and so forth. And there's already pre-existing templates where you just have to populate and basically add your own details that you'd want in that specific post. It gives you options to then insert your own business branding, your logo, your various information that you want to send out on that specific market or that specific post at that specific time. So creating posts really does not require a huge budget at all. It really doesn't. And it takes you less, once the more, the more you decide, the more often you use the various softwares, the easier it becomes for you. And if you don't have the time as the owner or the founder of that specific company, if you don't have the time to actually utilize sit down and use these softwares yourself, get someone else on board, whether you hire, if you're in a position to hire an intern, do so. If not, train one of your admin ladies, your accountant ladies, anybody within the company can utilize these, and at the same time you're upskilling them to actually last longer within your organization, because they feel like, okay, now I've developed a new skill, or you will see that they've developed a new skill, the value has been added on. So invest in your employees, and the platforms are free. So it's less of a complication than rather than spending a huge marketing budget trying to find someone who can actually do these things for you. Okay. So when we move on to post, yes.
Yes, sorry to interrupt you. There's a few people wanting to join. If you can just admit all of them.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, just give me a second. Let me just admit them.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys. Okay. Should have admitted all. Thank you, Johannes. One gets carried away when they're doing presentations and they forget that they're the host. Thank you for that. Okay, let me just go back to sharing my screen. Hi, everybody who's just joined. This session is recorded. So you will be able to find it on Diamond Trading's social media platforms in case you need to catch up on what you've missed out on. So we're currently discussing social media posts and basically just the different various softwares that you can utilize when designing your posts for social media. So if we go on one of my pages here, let me just quickly zoom. I'm not sure if you all can see it. Johannes, maybe you can just verify that the post is clear enough for everyone to see.
Very clear.
Okay. So when you're designing a social media post, right, template-based, always remember the branding side of things. Keep it within your brand colors. And if you don't have one, base it on what your logo, try finding the look and feel of what you want your business to portray. The logo that you have, don't just create a logo because it's a logo for your business or your organization. Think of the services or the products that you have in mind, the colors that you utilize within that logo. All those little details play a role in terms of you yourself, your business, and what you're portraying to your audience. So keep it simple. Imaginary, that depends on which platform you're utilizing. Like for example, I'm just going to give you a rundown on what platforms I have. I decided for Rethink Communications, because we are a marketing and advertising agency, we went with platforms which are LinkedIn, so Facebook, Twitter, as well as Instagram. Why those four? Because I felt like my brand would speak to those, because I've got various services within the organization, and I've structured it in such a way that my Instagram and Facebook are in sync with each other, as well as my WhatsApp. But my Twitter offers my other services, which is the resume editing services. So because it's reaching that specific audience, it's tailored to reach that specific audience, I placed it there only. So all these things are things that, you know, are criteria that play roles into your decision making moving forward. So in terms of post, ensure that your page is set up correctly. There is a section that I will dive into that as well. Make sure that your page is not, if your business name is something IT solution, don't go and open a Facebook page and rename it something completely different. Let it be consistent throughout. Okay, so ensure that it's all the information or details are within the post. Your company, what service are you offering at that specific moment, give in the benefits or the value propositions that your services or your products are bringing forward, and a call to action. Always have a call to action, whether it's the link to your website, whether you want them to contact you via WhatsApp. And you know, these platforms are international as well, so it's always good to specify, or within your profile, it's not a must to put it there, but it will be good, it's crucial, because if someone else sitting in another country is seeing your services or sees your ad, depending on how you set it up, they'll be able to actually relate or say, or know that it's not meant for that specific country, but rather it's speaking within the country or the location that you've been. So also, Facebook gives you majority of the options, like the call to actions is to, do you want them to message you in Facebook Messenger? Would you like them to approach you via WhatsApp? All these options are things that are available. And what's crucial is make sure that you have also set up your page in such a way that all your information is completely valuable to you. So if I just browse back to basically the information of your specific page, again, as I said, your name, your username should also be in relation to your, doesn't have to be that long. Unfortunately, my company name is Rethink Communications, and that's why it's that long. And the problems that you are solving should be in your description box or a little summary of your company. These are very crucial. So when I land on your page, I have an idea of what it is that I'm engaging with, what company it is, what category do I belong in. You can list as many categories as you can. There's not really a limit to it, but I would say keep it to your most, major services that you're offering, or the products. Always activate a WhatsApp number, business WhatsApp specifically. WhatsApp doesn't allow you to activate the normal WhatsApp unless it's a normal profile. However, if it is business related, then you need to get a business WhatsApp number. Okay, that's if you want that option, where when you post something, then they come directly through to your business WhatsApp chats. It's always crucial and important to have a obviously, as a startup, sometimes you struggle with funds, or you struggle with, you don't have the capital to actually get your business up and running with the correct branding from the get-go. But it's something to work towards, or something to consider, to put in the pipeline, that it's important to have proper branding in terms of professional business email, professional websites, and also that just builds trust. It builds trust, it builds volumes, and it speaks volumes of you. We should try to move away from the gmail.com, the general email addresses, and transition to proper business branding. Okay, then in terms of locations as well, it's important to put it on. As you can see here, I have not put in specifics, so F number and so forth. It's not as important if you're not getting clients specifically to you, but it's wise to put it on, because if I'm sitting in another town, for example, I should be able to know exactly where your business is, to avoid me from actually coming into your inbox as often as possible to actually ask, where are you guys based? And that's a common question that a lot of customers ask. So operating hours as well, that's optional. I choose not to put them on because our services are flexible. But if you have specific operating hours, it's always good to put them on, and so forth. If you have any policies, any specific products that you want to advertise on, this is the opportunity for you, or the place for you to actually place them on. Price ranges, you also have that option, and then currency. But there's many more other options that you're able to utilize on when it comes to your profile and so forth. So paid advertising. You know, often at times you wonder, you're watching, you're on Facebook, and you are watching some sort of video, minding your own business, and then boom, this ad starts playing out of nowhere, out of the blue, and you wonder, how did this happen? Like, this is a company in Namibia, this is a company we were in. How do they get to disturb my social media browsing like this? It's called paid Facebook advertising. Yes.
I think there's more people in the waiting room. Sorry to disturb.
Thank you for the heads up again. You just stopped hearing. Thank you. You're gonna have to keep doing that because I'm getting so carried away. Apologies, everybody. Let me just admit everybody into the room. For those that just joined us, welcome. We are halfway through the presentation as it is. I'm just going to share my screen. As I said earlier, we are gonna put this recording live on Namibian Diamond Training Institute's Facebook pages and social media pages, and you will then be able to catch up on everything that you missed out on. Okay, so paid advertising. So when posting, again, you've noticed that a lot of posts appear to be sponsored. That's what we mean by paid advertising, the sponsored advertising. So you've got your generic post where you just go onto social media and you just post a specific post and hope that everybody sees. However, that is not as effective as the paid advertising. Reasons being is if you land up just posting, you're only limited to your followers and 1 or 2 people that might see it on someone else's page that have shared your information or your content. So in terms of posting, I would say once you've posted your generic post, which is your normal daily posts or every second day post, go on and boost a specific post at least once a month. Reason being, it's targeted. You're targeting a specific audience. You're trying to get, you have a call to action where you're trying to get a lead generation and try to get a specific sale out of that. So it's best to do that. Okay, so going on to the paid advertising part of things, let me just get the correct tab open. Sorry about that. Okay, so paid advertising, what does it entail? What does it, what do you actually do? How does it work? You don't have to have, again, as I said earlier, you don't have to have a major budget of, let's say, $1,000 a week that you're spending on social media. Leave that to the big guys who can handle that. For now, as small SMEs or upcoming SMEs, you've got various opportunities, and Facebook is very cheap. And let me show you how. And this falls in line with Instagram as well. So once you've created your sponsored ad, or once you've put your ad on, you then have the options to boost it, okay? So you have the opportunity to choose your audience on who sees this. So all these options are available in terms of people living in which country, whether you choose the whole of Windhoek, whether you're based in Swakop and you own your products or services are only being sold to specific locations or people in the coastal areas. You may actually navigate and narrow down your ads and the locations to only the coastal areas. Then you can move over to your age group and say, who do you want to talk to? Am I speaking to someone from the age of 18 to 65? Yes, because these people are the people that are most likely to have specific, most specific interests of businesses up and running, or at least assuming or wanting to start, or searching for a specific product and so forth. So then people who match what? You know, because I've got various services and various interests of my business, you can then choose whether you're speaking to people who want specific services like company registrations, websites. You have the options to actually okay. Sorry, I was just admitting somebody. You have the options to actually see, narrow down all your interests and people who match. So sit down with yourself, sit down with your team, and have a thorough discussion as to, guys, who are we targeting? Who is this ad speaking to before you just spend money on it, so to say. Then you have the duration of the ad. How many days will it be running for? You get to say this. You get to put these options in from your end, okay? And then a budget. You set your budget. So you know that in your business account or this specific week, I can only dedicate $300 or $70 or so forth. Look as to how little Facebook starts charging people. $20 a day. Only, that's what it asks. $20 per day. It even gives you an indication that the minimum budget is 14 Rand, 0.75 per day. So your budget needs to be at least 103 to be effective, to let it reach the audience that you want to reach. So you have the options to say for 7 days or for 5 days or for so forth days, you want to spend only, let's say $300, you've spent only $300 for that specific ad, then you at least have that opportunity to say that Facebook gives you an interaction based on your settings that you've put in prior, the option that we were just at. They have the options to actually tell you with that $300, this is the estimation of people that you're about to reach per day. Okay, so on that specific budget, that is how many people that you will reach for a day. If you have a budget of, let's say, $30, you can see there that the numbers decrease. Numbers decrease tremendously in terms of audience and reach. So play around with these things, and if you have more money to spend, you reach a huger audience. So it just depends on the pockets, your pocket. But I personally budget about $300 for running of ads, and the returns are amazing, or the returns are awesome, because the amount of people that actually land up reaching out to you are far more than what you've put out on that specific ad. And the rest are just basically information on my own business account and so forth. So I'm not going to go into detail with that. Okay, now that you've advertised, you've boosted, you have been putting all these information and awesome posts on Facebook, and you feel like, but I'm also just not getting any engagement, and there's just no people coming through, or it's not what I expected. Where am I going wrong? That's when we go to the section where we call the insights and the analytics of things. Facebook offers you these opportunities, or these platforms offers you these opportunities to actually help guide you in generating the next post, how to better your next post and so forth. So all this information is obtainable for you on the various platforms. So how do we measure these results? How do we know that something is really coming out of these platforms that we're advertising? Content remains key. You should always just have content constantly going. The reason being is, if you're not performing, or if you're not posting anything, or you're not engaging to your audience, they're not receiving anything, and you're not getting anything in return. So it's basically a two-way street at the end of the day. So keep that content consistent. Consistency, keep posting, keep engaging, keep chatting to your audiences, keep responding to their comments, and keep it professional. It's such a degrading if I'm speaking to a certain organization and they answer me like they're just answering me. I'm not going to say the word. So it kind of gets frustrating for the audience, and I might land up unfollowing your page, or vice versa. You might just land up losing out on huge audiences and so forth. And then also your followers and your audience, get engaging, like see who's following you, how many followers are you actually having? You have a whole lot of analytics available for you to actually see how many people followed you this week or this month alone, last year. Compare those stats, and what did we do different during that period when so many people follow us? Was it an ad that we were running? What type of ad was it? Was it on a specific product? So that could be that this product is a high demand product. Which time of the year did we post this? Is it a winter-based product? Is it a summer-based product? These are the type of questions that you ask yourselves. So you are able to get engaged in it. Let me just quickly go further to the let us plug you content. Let me just quickly see if there's any other people in the room. Johannes, can you come across any? Are you coming across any? Well, I can.
No, not any.
Okay, cool.
Maybe.
Okay, cool. So let's plug you guys. I'm here to plug you guys in terms of tips, marketing tips. Often at times we're like, ish, but me, I'm an engineer, or ish, I am in construction. I don't have time for these things. but I also want my social media on top there. You know, it's how we speak. It's the daily conversations that we're having for ourselves. But for me, someone in marketing who's going to come up to you and tell you, no, you need to do this, you need to do that, is because we see it from our angle that it actually works. But for you who has skills and your expertise are in a specific niche market, you don't see the input or the value of these things. So get someone to teach you how it's done, or get someone to actually do it on your behalf. So back to marketing basics in terms of create a market strategy. Guys, it's very important to create a marketing strategy for yourself. I'm not saying create a 20, 50, 70-page document. No. Basically just who is your target, narrow it down to who is your target audience. Are you a construction company? Who are you targeting? Anybody who wants to build a residential property, or anybody who wants to renovate their homes, things like that. Narrow it down to your target audience. What message will you be sending out? Is it renovations? Is it renting of specific materials or machinery? Things like that. Narrow down your target audience. Have content calendar. This is crucial because you don't have to post things on your own. You don't have to physically go into Facebook every day at a certain time and post. You can pre-schedule these posts and let it do it. Schedule them in advance, so you don't have to wake up the next day and say, oh, I still need to post. Schedule them in such a way that you have sufficient posts, or design them in such a way that a month in advance, you already have, we currently in April, so you already have May's content out already to be pushed out. Allowing an opportunity for, if any sales or any promotions are happening, you may still put it into the calendar to post it. And then plan out your post quantity. Make more posts sufficient. Then in case there's an emergency where you have to either travel, or you're not present, or the person who usually does the post is not available, they already have that specific content available for you to post. So your social media does not get dormant at all. And then your analysis and modification. Use your insights, guys, what we just spoke about earlier. Use that information to actually nurture your next campaign. Learn what's well received and what's not, and implement your findings in your next posts. So if you see that the specific post didn't get a reaction that you wanted, change things up and see what helps moving forward. And then helpful things that you can use or utilize within your social media. You can generate leads. Again, guys, when it comes to sales, join the various groups, buy and sell groups, but always make sure that when you post that specific content, your contact details are available on that specific post. Everything is easy to read. You're not overpopulating someone's eyes with too much content or too much reading. Leave the little footprints there for your brand to divert people back to your brand. Increase your website traffic. There's so many opportunities in this, diverting with the various links. If you're speaking of a specific product and that product is appearing on your website, feel free and ensure that whenever you're posting, post a direct link from your website URL to that specific, on that specific post. So if I am receiving your content, or if I come across that specific post or image that you've posted on your social media platform, I'm able to click on that link and go directly to your website and find out more information or thorough information on that specific product and so forth. Embrace the diversity in your content. But the majority of us think that we must just post because for the sake of posting. sometimes your services or your niche market I'm not aware of. I'm a potential client that might need something, but the way you're presenting your products or services to me is not enticing enough for me to actually understand that that is the service that I need or require as a consumer. So in terms like that, try to diversify your content or your posts in such a way that maybe today you're making it information based, tomorrow it's a specific product, 2 days later you're posting a Q&A, frequently asked questions for your customers, that helps, as well as maybe just the next day you're just posting the picture or an image of your specific product. So make it broad, make it colorful, but keep it within your brand. So even if I see your a specific product of yours and it doesn't have your branding on, because I know your colors, I kind of already, my mind kind of already puts it in relation to your brand. So I'm able to identify, but hey, this is that specific product, or this is that specific company, and build a community. Engage with your audience. If I comment on your post, comment back in a timely manner. Don't leave it for 3-5 days and then only you come back to me. If you really don't have a time, add someone else, a cousin of yours, a sibling of yours, someone within your company. Add them to do that specific and train them to do that specific. You don't have to give them admin access, which is overall access to change things within your social media pages. Give them what we call content access, where you only allow them to actually make these specific comments. So all these options are available to you. Okay. Knowledge base. This is another plugin that I think Instagram offers it, Facebook offers it. You just basically need to make time to educate yourself and your team. Everything you need to know is available to you on these specific platforms, and it's simple. It simply just requires you to read. Like, it simply just requires you to read. If I just go onto this tab that I have available for you here. This is what we call the Business Help Center page. Now, the Business Help Center page literally runs through everything that you can ever think of. Make sure that you've changed your normal page, your let's say your normal Instagram account to a business page. It's very effective because there are some features that your business pages have that your normal page, Facebook page, or your normal business page, Instagram business page doesn't have, and advanced features. Now, if we look at the Business Center, guys, everything that you can ever think of that you need information on, this is your go-to area. So if you want to update a specific post, or if you, let's say you've posted something and you really don't want to delete it because that post needed to go out in that specific time, there's ways that you can edit those posts. All that information is available for you on the Meta Business Help Center page. So go through it. How do you monetize on it? These are available for you guys. Just read. You just need to find the time to read, because you'll be amazed that you'll be struggling with a specific thing. Like, I don't know how to post a general question. I just don't know, how does one post? I really honestly just don't know how to do it. These are things that you can really find all answers to available for you on these platforms. And the same applies to Instagram. They also have these business tools on how to set up your account, how to set it up correctly, how to reach a huger audience, the types of posts that you can post, guidelines. They are there, they are available, and it is free. So get out there and read. Educate yourselves, educate your team. If you, the owners, don't have the time to do so, educate and initiate these things to your employees so they can actually build, help build your business moving forward. And last but not least, this is basically just me saying thank you for tuning in. I am now open and available for questions.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. That was a very informative presentation. I actually learned quite a bit, specifically on that on the paid advertising. I don't know, you could put even $20 a day. I'll definitely make use of that. But this is to everybody. I think you can just unmute, and then you can ask Ms. Thomas any questions that you have. But I think there is one question in the comment section. Comes from Mr. Naftal Ninda, and he's asking, does WhatsApp business also schedule advertising? So can you advertise on business WhatsApp?
Yes, Mr. Tinda, good question. Yes, it does. It actually does schedule advertising, but that's more advanced, and you need to link it up with your Facebook business pages. So it offers that, but it's more crucial if you have your pages synchronized or synced. Does that answer your question, Mr. Tinda? Okay, I'm going to assume it does. Maybe you can just drop it in the comment section. Okay. Thank you. Any other question?
I have one question.
Yes, Mr. Wilson.
Yes, you spoke about we need to pre-schedule our post. I just wanted to find out, how do we do that? Is there something, is an enabler that can possibly assist us to reschedule, to pre-schedule, or how do we do it? It's basically the question.
Okay, great question as well, again, Mr. Wilson. Well, when it comes to scheduling of posts, you have the options on your Facebook page to actually schedule these posts. When you, let me just admit this person in. When you post a specific post to one of your platforms, let me just quickly give you a live demonstration. If you will allow me to. I've got so many pages. Just give me a second. Give me a second for my internet to load, and I'll give you a live demonstration. Well, you have the options to either post it yourself, alternatively by scheduling it when you're about to post a specific. Prior to posting a specific post, or alternatively, what you can use, there is what we call softwares like Canva. Again, if you look into that, you can design and post directly where you schedule posts. The other one is Shootsuite. That's also an automative software that you can utilize. But the best option will then be if you can, my internet is just loading a bit slow, so we'll just give it some time to load, and I will run you through the process on how to schedule a specific post. But you do it prior to posting the post. Sorry about that, I just need to go out again there. So let's go into posts. How active are you? How active do you post on social media, Mr. Wilson?
Not really, but I would just want to learn.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I always use Creator Studio to post my posts from the business page. I don't go directly on the normal page. The reason why I use Creator Studio is it just gives you more available options and insights on when it comes to posting. You get to learn a little bit more information. When I was talking about insights and analytics, this is what I was referring to as to what is going on your specific post. You have this, if you go with Creator Studios, you have the opportunity to basically get this information. And you have the opportunity, all the options available to you, whether you're going to get the first quarter of all your viewed posts, the last 28 days, the last month, and so forth. So let's just go to create a post. So prior to creating a post, you have these options. Prior to publishing, you have these options available for you when you're creating a specific post, and to schedule it in. So your general text comes in here, whatever it is that you're posting for that specific day, okay? Whatever it is that you wish to post for that specific day. You're adding a photo. If you have any link to that specific website or whatever, you have that option to say, you know, link, preview. That's if you don't have an image and you just want to take it directly from the website, and you have that option where you say, leave the link preview on, because I'm not putting in any images. If you have an image, then you obviously have the option to attach a video or to attach an image or to go live on that specific ad. Okay, so this is what I mean by scheduling it. So you have the options over here to say what date you want it. It always has to be advanced, in advance. Today, moving forward. It can never be a backdated post, okay? So let's say you're scheduling it for the 30th of April, okay? You have the option to give that specific time slot for yourself as well, to say, I want my post to go out at, let's say 4 in the morning, or I want my post to go out at 6 in the morning. And I wanted to reach the news feed of anybody who might be on Facebook at that specific time. Then you have that option to use a ticket before you publish it, and then press publish. Mr. Wilson, does that answer your question?
Indeed. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to ask a question?
Okay, I think in the absence of any other questions, I want to thank you, Ms. Thomas, for this very informative presentation. I think to all the participants, we're really looking at creating, of course, the webinars are just really a snapshot into the courses that we're looking to create. So if you do want us to create this course, please get in contact with us, visit our website or on our social media pages, call us. Just tell us that you want this course, and we can really deliver this course. We're looking at this course over a period of 3 days, and it will be a bit more practical. So what Ms. Thomas was showing you, she will actually have you do it in person, and you'll learn quite a bit, and I'm sure your business will soar. So again, Ms. Thomas, I want to really thank you for providing this very informative presentation to our audience.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Ipinge. And just for closing, guys, don't be afraid to utilize the various options available for you on the various Facebook and Instagram social media platforms. Again, it's crucial to identify what is best working for you. Just because they're all available doesn't mean that your business requires to be on all of them. Find a niche social media platform that best suits and cuts and speaks to your audience, and execute it well. And for that, thank you all for tuning in. Feel free to reach out for me. Those are my contact details. Feel free to visit my website to find out on all our various services available. And should you have any questions, do feel free to reach out to me. Thank you for having me.
Right, thank you, Ms. Thomas. Thank you to the participants. Please follow Diamond Training Institute on our various social media platforms. Visit the website. Please, we are looking forward to doing business with you. Thank you.